Hello, Commanders, and welcome to the RNG Endgame, a podcast about the game Marvel Strike Force. Your hosts are Frid and Creative. We're leaders in an alliance from a large cluster, and would like to share our insights with you to hopefully improve your gameplay and overall experience, and give you a little entertainment.
All right, Creative, here we are. Another week, another episode, number 54. And we're gonna get started with some good old-fashioned gearing and leveling.
Everybody's favorite.
It's really Frid's roster review. So, I have invented a new term for the elite parking lot. And that's where I feel I have taken my Axemen, Astonishing X-Men. Great team, having a lot of fun with them. Very good across the board. I don't think I've ever lost with them on Blitz. Now, I haven't tried anything too crazy, but I don't think I've lost ever with them. And I'm autoing some of the U7 nodes, so that is great. So what is the elite parking lot? Well, that is level 71, tier 12. Now, I want to talk in depth about this level 71 thing, but we'll tease that for a future episode. And tier 12 obviously has to do with the bottleneck of orange gear, which we will get into later, and the fear of not having enough for Dark Dimension and those characters. I really would like to push them to 13. I think I could, but then my DD4 would get even more delayed, so I'm not doing it for now. After that, I am moving on to Pimtech, and there was some deliberation, Creative and I going back and forth on whether Power Armor should be the one or Pimtech. And then I got a 5 red star on Yellow Jacket, and I was like, all right, the signs are clear. Let's do the newer team. I also have them in War Defense, and sometimes they get a win here or there. So, I know you've invested a lot in this team, and it doesn't sound like you're too impressed, but I'm going to put them on the tier 12, level 65. Unless they fix the training mats problem, then maybe I'll take them to level 71. I guess we'll talk about that in a little bit. And T4s, I need some of those on them as well to round out that team. Another thing that happened, it was today, I finished Squirrel Girl. 7 stars, 7
nice.
yellows. So that opens up another farming node for more gear that we need. Or hopefully a new character whenever they decide to put them in a node. I don't know if I mentioned this because it's been a while, but I did take Ghost to level 14. And after Pimtech, I'm going to start getting these guys closer to, and these guys means my DD4 global crew, which is Baron Zemo, Ghost, and Mr. Sinister. Getting them closer to 80 and tier 15. I'm missing a bunch of mutant pieces, so I wonder if they'll address that anytime soon. We'll find out. That was it for me. Pretty straightforward. I've been spending about 1.5 to 1.775 a day. The goal has gone down slightly, but I'm still sitting at about 19 million. So 30-something gold orbs. What have you been up to, Creative?
Well, your favorite character, Hand Sorceress, is finally 7 yellow stars, meaning that I finally have, after all this time, 5 hand team members at 7 yellow stars. So I need to gear up for the monthly Catalyst event because those SBCs need getting. So I
for any new listeners that don't remember, when I suckered Creative into this game and he got Hand Sorcerers, he was all excited because it was a healer and he likes healers. So I got a 6 red star on him, so it's kind of a running joke that it's one of the best characters when you're starting the game, but it is not. Let's just make that clear. But we still have that running joke. So anyway.
Yep. So I looked at the infographics. I think the lowest team that achieved 7, the tier 7 is
just
168,000.
trying to scrape by.
I don't think I'm even going to go that high. So I don't know if you remember or not, but the Chaos Theory event, I intentionally did not level up the Wakandans nearly enough. And every month I would just play it. And one month I just tap into 3 stars. So I'm going to probably take the same approach. It's, once a month, 3 times you attack, it's 5 minutes. So it just feels too dirty leveling up this hand team. I almost want to gag when I have to do an upgrade, but I have done them a little bit more. I'll get them a little closer to that 168 and maybe put an ISO thing on them or 2 and see what happens.
Do you have Electra? I mean, there's an argument there if you want to.
Yeah.
Build.
I mean, let's talk about Shadowlands. So I got Terrible Red Stars and White Tiger. She is not showing up in the orb for me. And I just am not excited about the team. Again, they're another war-focused team. And then I saw some early videos where at least 1 or 2 of the team members would drop pretty quickly, but sometimes they would win. I was going to say that I don't know his initials in YouTube is MM2. He's a really whalish guy. He just released some videos today of Shadowlands, and they were taking out a Doc Ock and taking out an Emma. But then again, I see other videos where they don't. So they just seem, even with this massive health buff, it was like 40% or something crazy. They seem very flimsy. And so if you get the wrong RNG, they go after one of your characters, it seems like you're in trouble. And again, the really cool abilities are very war focused, and I just I'm not going to invest that level or invest that much to for one, a team that's only partially farmable, and 2 is very war focused. And
so it's war focused, and the stuff is gated right behind T4s too.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like at least 7 T4s just to make the team work. I mean, it's like Skeletery all over again. It's just like every one of these reworked components, you have massive amounts of T4s to do. It's just a running theme. So I'm still on the fence about even taking this team to the parking lot. But we have seen videos of people that somehow have a 400k Shadowlands team taking out a 400k Emma. So great and wonderful, but I've I'm going to struggle to get 4 yellow stars on White Tiger, much less anything else. So, but yes, it's not maybe complete throwaway to level up Electra, and then certainly Hand Sentry has his uses throughout the game. But I am likely going to focus on Zemo and some Hydra components. Now that Zemo is farmable, I'll probably look at taking him to DD4. But good grief, the War Store and the Raid Store farming is horrendous. But I've taken a temporary break on T15s from the War Store because Ghost, after all of the free shards that we got from the DD4, the real name of Scopely Fixed Prices celebration, you only need like 20 more shards to get Ghost there. So, but Zemo's shown up maybe once since the Wednesday or whatever he came out. Ghost has shown up, I think, twice. I think I have 13,000 war credits because she never shows up. So, but to the people that were trying to level Ghost really fast to get Jubilee, I feel your pain. Good grief, it is horrible.
Well, I think that, as we will find out, has proven to be a good strategy. What you did about going to Ghost, you won't lose anything. We'll see.
Yeah.
From the T15 materials is what I'm referring to. So we'll get to that.
Yeah, so I have to, gag a little bit, level up the hand team, and then I have not quite done the elite parking lot level for the X-Men, but I'm pretty close, and I still haven't started DD4.
I mean, you're not. It's gonna take you nothing, and then you're gonna sit there like, how long has it been? A month? Or more for me.
It's been at least a month for you.
Yeah,
so
just sitting there waiting. So yeah, don't worry.
I have zero interest in Dark Dimension 4. And then I don't think I've talked about this, but I've had, I call him the original whale in my arena shard, who had power armor like fully maxed the day they came out. He has Doom. He's the only one even remotely close to Doom. So he spent a lot of money. And I can take out Doom no problem. So it just... my incentive to DD4 is quite
The
low.
only thing, if you need a gold, there's a mega orb. Now the Axemen are in there. You could get lucky. That's about it for those first 3 nodes.
I think I'll take some screenshots of my usual mega orb pulls. Yeah,
Jessica
so
Jones for
yeah.
50.
Yeah, so I'm just not excited about Dark Dimension at all. I know it's better, but I'm just gonna do it and then get stuck. So I'll start at some point, but I really, really like the X-Men. We've got them all pretty decent in terms of stars and gear and all that. And I'm on the verge of doing something crazy, which is ignoring Emma and Sinister because I still do not like the Marauder team. And I fear that if I take those two up, my 60K or whatever it is, Sabretooth and Mystique are not going to win in Blitz. So I have a big fear that I'm going to have to not only level Emma and Sinister up, but then have to level those characters up to get this team winning. And they are very shaky for me. You say they win more, or they're pretty consistent in Blitz, but I find that they're very, very shaky. But again, my team's out of whack in terms of balance. But let me get back to the topic. So I'm on the verge of doing something crazy. I might take Beast or Iceman to T15. I would really like to do Bishop or Jubilee, but those two give me a global character, and I have none yet. So I don't know. I mean, the X-Men are, of course, the most ridiculously expensive. Bishop and Iceman are 90 pieces. Jubilee, Beast, and Kitty are 72. So screw you, Coat Scope. I mean, good gosh.
Come on. We're really gonna. I mean, there is an argument to be made, but I mean, Emma's gonna. I'm still Team Emma over here. Just I know Sinister will be painful, and I'm still gonna do him, but he's cheaper, and he has that evergreen. But just remember all the stuff Emma does on her own. Forget about the team. You plug her in some random team and think about what she does for them, right?
Yeah, I just don't use her anywhere. Sits on war defense, and I don't use her at all. And
you never have to call an audible in any raid node where you need her help. Okay, well.
I mean, between Astonishing X-Men and Symbiotes, I don't need anything else. But I mean, every once in a while when I get to the final boss, which is just a crazy, ridiculously node, I'll take her and Loki and Mystique in to help clear something tough for the other guys. But I don't know. I guess I'll break down and maybe do Emma, but I just really want to do
maybe not.
guys.
If you can wait, then you're not in any rush. Maybe it makes sense. We'll see. Okay.
Yeah, so that's it. I kind of rambled through my update, and I will report back if I am able to 3-star the Catalyst event with a incredibly low team.
Can't wait to see you for having to level Hand Blade Master or something just to get you there. Oh my gosh,
disastrous! But yes. All right, well, so I want to continue in our run. Let's run the numbers section here. And I want to continue the path that we were doing before, which is talking about T15s. And we talked about how ridiculously slow it is, how few we get. And ultimately, for a free-to-play player, it's going to take 11 months to get all of the materials. And so I kept looking at the war side, saying, well, maybe if we won more, or maybe if I did more attacks, I could get a whole lot more war currency and buy a lot more of the T15s. And so I went down the path of looking at a higher win rate, which you really can't achieve higher than 60%. The game smacks you back into reality or gives you ridiculous opponents there. So I started looking at more attacks so that you can get up to that magical 29,000 war credits per week. And the short answer is you can't. So I'll kind of ramble through this a little bit. I'll try and make it cohesive, but basically, you're not going to get higher than 60% unless you are just throwing lots of money at it and have ridiculous teams. So what I said is, well, how about I get 10 successful attacks per war? And I think you and I do pretty well in war. This last war, I think I had 8 successful attacks and a couple throwaways. So that was only, 8. So I said, well, let's just see the exercise of doing 10 successful attacks at Platinum 1 with a 60% win rate. And that got a grand total of 1,500 extra war credits per week, or 6,000 per month. And so that means you can, on a weekly basis, purchase one more T15, do one extra T415 peach purchase, or one extra character purchase. And so there are some changes now. So instead of 2 T15s, that would be 4 and 5 character shards. So I was like, wow, that was not is what I was expecting. So if you factor that over 1 month, that gets you 22 more character shards, or a grand total of 18 T15 pieces when you need 1,900. So Fred, what do you think about, let's get our 10 wins in so we can get one more purchase of a T15 piece.
So, yeah, that's very painful. I would think that you would be rewarded for winning more, but I guess that's not the case. And I kind of had a suspicion, with our whole debacle about the Alliance and wanting to be very hyper competitive in war, and it's just, yeah, I mean, it's a fun quote unquote competitive mode, except when you face these ridiculous opponents and there's nothing you can do about it, and it smacks you back down. And then the outcome is this measly difference. Like, really?
Yeah.
It's very disappointing, because when it all comes down to, you want to win to get better resources, like you want to do raids at a higher level so that you can get more stuff and get rewarded for all the investment, and it's just negligible. So
yeah, so
it doesn't help you with DD4. It doesn't do much.
Right.
And the war story, it has so many good things. We need more of this stuff, but there's really no way to obtain it reasonably. You're kind of, they have perfected the amount they want to give you and kind of cap you there. And even if you win more, win a little less, it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
I mean, not even over a month, not even over a year. It's anything that will move the needle. I mean,
now I will say at Platinum 1 that the spread between wins and losses is so few. There is a little bit, so I think it's around 500 war currency, whereas for the gold levels it was 500 to 700. So it makes a little bit more if you're winning, but ultimately you're earning a lot less at a gold level anyway. But so, with that news, I said, well, okay, let's go completely the other direction, and let's go full on lazy, full on casual, and your win rate will drop down to 40%. You're still getting your 7 attacks, because I think that's still feasible. And that drops you down to around 17,600 war credits per week. And, previously we talked about a 60% win rate and the 7 attacks. And that was 18,000 credits. So it's a grand total of less than 400 credits per week if you go incredibly casual and don't even win that much, which I found just incredibly strange. Again, it's Platinum, the swings are much lower. So, a couple things there. First and foremost, you really have to maintain a 45% win rate to make sure that you don't drop in leagues. And then, of course, at Platinum, we get a lot more war currency, war orbs than at, some of the gold and certainly the silver levels. So it seems like there's still the motivation to get up to, say, gold 4 or platinum so that you can earn the higher amounts. But in reality, once you're there, it's going to take, and I think I did the math on this, like 3 months at best at a super high win rate to get up to platinum 2 and all that kind of stuff. And at this level, there's a lot of hard alliances as well. So I just found it very odd that, one, having a measly win percentage of 40%, maintaining a basic amount of successful attack 7, and you're really only going to drop down about 200, 300 war credits per week, which is, again, not even a single character purchase, not even a single purchase of T15s. So, Fred, why did we run all these numbers? I did kind of ramble through that a bit, but why do you think we ran all
I think the bottom line is, while it's worth moving up, you know, at first, trying to get to a point where you're at gold 4 or platinum 1, uh, you know, trying to do this hyper competitiveness, it doesn't seem to pay off. And you could see why a lot of alliances have gone to the 2 wars on, 1 war off approach, right? So you take a war off, it doesn't matter, and you get to replenish resources, and then you can go hard for 2 wars, save some aggravation, and really the difference is not that much. And it's say you win those 2 and then lose the 1, or even if you lose one of the 2 that you're on, it's still, as we just ran through, doesn't really matter that much. And it, you know, think about how complicated it is to manage the war, mark the rooms, and have people attack. And I mean, there is some fun to be had there, but you do it for twice a week, since is what we want, but they won't give us, and then you take one off. And I think it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, and the other thing is when we were going all out, I mean, our average opponent was 15% higher than us. And our current alliance, it's much more casual. We're doing consistent. It's like punch up or punch down within a 5% range, which is phenomenally different wars when you start, having to do attacks on 13 and 14 million, players. So it's definitely been interesting and eye-opening to see that there is this massive push to sell you more and more war characters, when in reality, I'm not sure the true end result is going to net you that much more. If you love war, fantastic, keep going at it. But if you find war to be either very stressful and not what you're looking for, it's not going to give you that much more. So anyway, we thought we'd share that. Hopefully that made sense. And so we do want to finish, or really spend the majority of our time talking about these blog posts. And so we've now had our third blog post. First was the acknowledging the feedback. The second was, here is the fancy new things that we want to sell you. And now we have what was supposed to be the fully on addressing of the feedback and, getting the player base back to a better place. The short summary is that didn't happen.
3 weeks it took them.
At all. 3 weeks, no. To
come back.
This has been going on for 4 months at least.
I know, but
think about the before we even got into Christmas, people were complaining.
But
so
think about the emergency day where they delayed the blog post because they were having to write this special bulletin, about acknowledging the player feedback, and then we gave them 3 weeks to do this, and here we go.
So we had low expectations, to say the least, because, past history. So, but early in the week, Frid and I had already talked and said, okay, these are the things we really want to see in this blog post. These are and this is our particular complaints. It's not exactly the same as everybody else's, but I did post that out on Reddit, just covering some of those key issues, and we provided solutions across the board. We want a non-buggy game. We want a better character release process. We want major changes to red stars. Gear and training bottlenecks are just getting ridiculous as it is compared to level 80 and 250. So, we've read all these 3 blog posts. We're not going to go line item by line item and waste your time. You all have probably read them already. And the short summary on the roadmap blog post was, it didn't really do much for us. Skins, sure, if you really get excited about that, fantastic. There's some taglines in there about they're not going to change gameplay at the moment, and some weird stuff. Tier 2 of ISO 8, yay, I guess. I don't, and then another battle pass. Come on.
I don't know how this battle pass, what it's gonna be. I'm curious to see where they're going with it. Is it another one? Is it a rework already? Like what?
I mean, it reads a whole nother one, and they want to get a whole nother set of money from you. But that's what all these read to me is, here are all the wonderful things we want to sell you, not here are the wonderful things that we want you to play. So needless to say, roadmap didn't do much for us. And then finally at the bottom, they said, oh, we're going to give you save squads and improve the raid season milestones and red stars for Ultron. To me, those are things that should have been taken care of months ago. And
Hmm.
again, the pattern is Scopely only seems to address things when the player base revolts. And they do the bare minimum, hoping that people will just gloss over it and move on.
Yeah.
So,
So I'll say one thing,
mhm.
and I don't know much, but I have heard other games don't sell you anything for character progression, but cosmetics, and they make a ton of money doing that.
Oh,
They
absolutely.
also sell some kind of battle pass, and they make a lot of money doing that. So that would be a good direction to go if the character offers weren't ridiculously expensive and 20 SBCs costed $50 and 30 T4s was like $75 or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever it is. Then I would consider the skins because I think that is you customize your character and you give him money to support the game, but buying 75 SBCs for $15, when does that feel good, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I think there's something there, but they have to adjust the rest of the economy to make this palatable. But we'll see how they release skins. Maybe they won't sell them. Maybe they'll just give it to us by achievement or other ways.
You're funny. Uh, yeah. So,
It's a comedy attempt, but yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, it was pretty readily apparent that the player base was not excited about the roadmap. The Reddit moderators actually disabled downvotes or negative votes on the post, so you couldn't actually do it. I forgot. I saw it was like negative 300 votes or something, and then they disabled it. So if that doesn't tell you there's a lot of vitriol and hate out there, then I don't know what does. So let's move on. We have this blog post. They said it was going to take them multiple weeks to do it, and so we were at least hoping for something that we could say great. Um, so let's we've talked about it over Reddit and in other places, but our key themes of things that we wanted to see, we wanted some sort of apology and or acknowledgement of the terrible code quality that has occurred. It's not as bad as it once was, where they would break the game with an update, but it's gotten to the point where there's nothing that has not had a bug, and it's getting pretty bad. So we're looking for that. We're looking for commentary on the release methods and cadence, Justice for Beast. And then we wanted to talk about my least favorite part of the game, Red Stars. And then the other was Bottleneck. So with those themes, let's talk about what we actually got in this blog post. So first, I said they should start with an apology and acknowledge the code quality issues. And we got nothing. There was no apology. They talked about 4 specific issues instead of the mountain of code quality problems that they had. So, Frid, what's your reaction to this?
Yeah, I mean, they skirted around trying to admit that all of these issues, but they came short. Acknowledging is as close as they got. They never said, "Hey, we know there's problems here." So a big missed opportunity there to communicate to us, that they're really listening and they are trying to do better. Um,
Yeah.
so I can't, it seems simple enough, but I don't know what and they have 2 community managers, so I don't know what the difficulty is with coming with this.
Yeah, and in the real world, you and I manage people as part of our job. And to me, number one, people management 101 is someone's frustrated, acknowledge their frustration, talk about solutions. And we got nothing from Scopely. The fact that they put nothing in there to this effect, I feel it's a huge miss. And let's just say they lost a lot of cool points to begin with there. All right, Fred. So you're going to talk to us about the release cadence and Justice for Beast.
Good old Beast. So we know this is a challenge, right? They dump characters on us, and then it can be 6 months, 7 months before they appear somewhere, and then it's all kinds of dubious methods to be released, and we don't know how long it'll take before we can get our hands on these characters. So what was in the post about this? Not a word. So they feel like they're gonna continue doing what they're doing. So they're gonna release 3 to 4 characters a month and only make 2 farmable. The backlog continues to grow. I don't know what the list is up to right now.
We're up to 20
20.
characters, yeah. Now, of course, that includes, the brand new ones. It includes Cole and Yo-Yo and the Premium Orb and Domino and all those. But it's still 20 characters when you add it up.
Yeah, so 6 month wait in some cases, in most cases.
Most cases, it's 6 months. Worst case, it's 10 months.
8, 10, 9 months.
Yeah.
So no, they didn't even go there, which is kind of crazy because, sure, they do blitz and you get an opportunity to get some shards there, but that's the one method of release. There's nothing else. We have talked about other games that make characters farmable or available in stores and other places immediately upon release, and it doesn't break anything. Think about it. Are you gonna? I mean, you would have to buy cores if you want to refresh the node and do all that. So that could make you money, and I don't think it breaks anything. But that's not here nor there. They should at least, if it's not immediate, maybe 1 or 2 months as tops. But this 6 month stuff, I mean, wow, I'm so excited about Yelena. And then once the blitz is over and it doesn't work, the only way to get her more powerful is either to pay or wait 6 months. It doesn't seem right.
Well, you don't even have offers most of the time in between that.
That's right.
They give you offers in the beginning and they disappear completely, which I find kind of stupid to me, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there could be so many ways to do this, but
yeah,
they haven't said anything. No acknowledgement. No words. We're gonna give you more characters release than you will get to farm, and good luck.
Well, so the blog post, I guess it's now 3 weeks ago, they did say they put a section on character release methods, and they said, "We've done a great job of giving you 2 characters a month. Enjoy your scraps, peasants." So they keep doubling down and think this is okay. The math doesn't work. People are frustrated. Try again, Scopely. Strike number 1.
Strike
Scopely.
1 here. Yeah.
All right. So the next one, of course, is Red Stars. I don't think we go an episode without complaining about Red Stars. We're going to keep doing it. The update had a grand total of 0 words on the Red Stars and the system, the RNG, the brokenness of it. And now we have seen, I think you pointed out 3 or 4 videos in the last couple of weeks of content creators opening 70 plus orbs and getting 2 Red Stars on characters. I mean, so this is a lost revenue opportunity, in my opinion. And, if people are going to go open a bunch of orbs and get nothing for a character, you think they're going to buy them? Heck no. Heck no. So there's been commentary on Reddit about, well, if you're going to buy the offer, give them 3 Red Stars just as a baseline, similar to what you could do if you push really hard and blitz. So the fact that Red Stars weren't in there and the roadmap, all it says is we're going to make regular orbs more valuable for you. I was just flabbergasted at this. So this is just crazy. Anything you want to say, Fred?
I mean, they literally need to double the number of promotion credits we get. They need to rework this whole orb system. If you're talking about content that requires 6 Red Stars, how can that not be more readily available? I mean, anything below 4 is like not a serviceable character, especially
not just.
Yeah,
go ahead. Sorry.
Especially if you don't have 7, right? I mean, think about that. Okay, I have a 4 and 5. That doesn't do anything. You need a 5/5 to be somewhat competitive while you wait 6 months for the next 2 levels that you need.
Yeah, and what I find just incredibly ridiculous about Doom Wars, it was 6+ Red Stars, what it said. And so let's remind everybody that you need 4 teams for that. So I don't know about you, but I don't have that many 6 Red Star characters. I've purchased 2 in Black Bolt and Thanos, and that's about it. I've got 2 others. So I don't have anywhere near a full team, much less 4 teams worth. So
yeah.
I
just have to mention, since it's the Frid roster show that I have 100 of those credits, so we'll have to have another discussion about what am I going to take to 6, but that'll be for another day.
There you go.
Yeah,
so that's
it just
right too.
yeah. I mean, this needs a major from the ground up, and I don't know what they're gonna do. I bet you it's gonna be whatever it is, purple stars, or something on top.
And you have to have 7 red stars to get your purple stars.
Oh my gosh! No, I was gonna say I pulled 1/7 ever. I've been over 2 years, and I saw the whale master himself, Casino, who has spent $40,000 in this game. He finally got enough to open a 7 red star orb. You know, the one that you get? And he got a pyro from 6 to 7. So think about that. 40 grand. He's played for over 3 years since the beginning. And you get one of those orbs. No comment for that much. So what else? What else we have here? We going to talk a little bit about bottlenecks. There's so many of them.
Yeah, so we'll kind of tag team through this because it is crazy. And just a strange anecdote is that we were talking in our alliance about bottlenecks, and I found it very odd. So there are certainly current themes: gold, training mats, gear, ability T4s, and so everybody has a flavor of those. But the weird thing is everyone has one severely, and it's not all the same. So like you don't have a training mat problem, I do. We don't have gold problems, but other people do. And so I found it very, very strange. So I think that's why they have so many bottlenecks, is because everybody somehow gets a different one. And I think it's based upon buying how much money you put in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I read somewhere a person talking about they spent money and all of a sudden they had a ton of bottlenecks because they got their characters too far too fast and they couldn't get the rest of the gear. So anyway, my favorite bottleneck, of course, is training mats. Anybody who's listening to the show, you'll hear me complain about training mats. So Scopely has finally announced that there will be another monthly flash event that will give us training modules. And it will come out in May. May.
Just wait 2 months.
Just wait 2 months. And so to top it all off,
probably we'll have bugs, I'm sure.
Yeah, we'll have to bring the bug report back. There's bugs on X-Men. There's bugs on Speed of Shadowlands. Anyway, so the funny thing about this flash event is that the team required is going to be none other than the Skeleton.
I'm set creative. I can do it. It's going to take, 3 months? Because, you can't do all the way to the end right away. So you do... 3 attempts or 2? 3, right? So it's 3, and then the 7th. It takes May, June, July. I'll have my skeleton ready to go to have the last stage completed. Finally get payoff.
Continues their pattern of picking a team that nobody wants to force you to have to level them up. So oddly enough, they said Elena will be quote unquote available or made available ahead of the May event, and there was no mention of Red Guardian, the Fat Man, at all. They did say that training mats will be rewarded from the daily objectives, or more training mats will be from there. They'll put training mats in the login calendars, and that was really about it. So, Frid, if you couldn't hear the sarcasm in my voice already, what do you think about this? Yeah.
Well, they did specify that we will get another 1,000 of the purple a month. Which is, they did say that. I don't know how much is from this event versus the normal stuff that you get every day.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's from the event, and that's on tier 7, and we have no way of getting Red Guardian to 7.
So there may be.
Here's your 300 peasants.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that. It's not even, I forgot it's star base. So yeah, I won't get July. It's going to be, who knows? Who knows when? Well, Black Widow is military now.
That's it's fine.
So maybe. But they said 1,000. We don't know the breakdown, but hopefully that'll help you at least. And what I was talking about earlier about being apprehensive about PimTech 271, maybe this will help. I don't have this problem right now, but I can more freely update those characters as opposed to trying to level up my shield trooper or to 7 stars or something so that I can spend gold when the milestone events come around. I could do some training, which will actually help my roster progress.
Yeah, the thing about this too, so I get why they choose Skeletor. They're going to force people to go invest in the team, and they love doing that. Yeah. But with all of the, I don't like the word hate, but all of the negative reactions out there, you thought that they would at least put an olive branch out there, make it a team that people have, build some goodwill. So not only did we not get an apology, not only did we not, we get like some tokens. Again, a lot of this is the bare minimum that they could have done. I was expecting a grand gesture. Save your game. Come on, get the player base on your side again. But they don't even bother.
They did say that the team's getting a rework, but they didn't go into detail about what that is.
The dev team is taking another look at it, but the team performs as expected when you level them up to 500K, Frid. Come on, just level yours to 500K. Then they can do what they're supposed to do.
And put T4s.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah, it's. We'll see how it. Hopefully, this will help you though in the end after it's all said and done. But we'll see.
Yeah, and I just want to state for the record that you have a fairly high team, and you did punch across or attempted punch across
and lost every time,
and like didn't kill anybody.
No,
and so these commentary of the team works. That's horse patootie.
I don't use them. I put them in with the mercs, and the red man is getting wins all the time. But as a war team, no, not at all.
Right.
All right. So next one that they address was the orange gear bottleneck. So pretty sweeping changes here, though, across the board, where they're gonna increase the rewards in the daily objectives. They're gonna add to the relic hunt, so second rework, right? Adding more stuff to
good call. Yeah, it's second one
to make you get the hand team a little higher. And then doubling what you get from the raid store and supply store, thankfully without increasing the prices. So that was at least reasonable. Not that the prices are any good, but they wouldn't say we'll double it, but it costs double. We'll double it for the same price. So what is it in the raid store? I forget. Is it 3 or is it 5?
I don't ever buy it. So this one I kind of shook my head at, like, who's buying ABCs? But again, people that are DD4 are out of these. So,
I buy focus ones because I know there's going to be a problem, and then the orange spiky balls, what I call it, that tech unstable
molecules.
Yeah, I buy those. So that'll help me. And from the gold store, they're doubling that for the same price. So I guess that's something. But they also said they are going to increase the SBCs from 5 to 20 for 240K, which I'd never bought that. But I hope they did it on ABCs, but no, it's just on SBCs. It's okay. They will also. They mentioned something about the raid milestones, but it was kind of unclear. I think it's more orbs across the board. Like
they just said they were going to put orange gear in it. They weren't really clear as to how much more. If they're giving us 1 more, or if they're giving us 50 more. It was very vague.
Yep. So hopefully what they do is they make them more rewarding and take longer to complete. Because right now, with the difficulty that we do, they get done in like a day. So
yes, it's crazy ridiculous. Yeah.
There was a mention of another row in the raid store for orange gear. So there's going to be a second row that I know you don't buy it, but for the people that need it, then that'll be helpful.
Well, I am buying a few things now. So my grand plan of taking the Astonishing X-Men all the way, I run out of the mutant mats, so I have been buying those.
Oh my gosh. You're going to have a 700K. You're going to surpass your Black Order with the Axemen. We'll see. You just need like 700 T15 pieces. So here's the thing. Doubling some stuff in the War Store, like the orb, now will drop double. And the purchase will also be double for the same price. But that's all fine and dandy. But what did we talk about a little bit ago in this show earlier today? That you're way short on credits for the War Store. So yet again, more stuff that you want from the War Store that you can't get because it's so full of stuff. I mean, when are they going to fix that part? The credits we get so that we can at least obtain the stuff that we want from the store for all the effort we put into war.
And just a correction for you, they did not touch the orbs. So I'm looking again. There is no mention of addressing the raid store orbs, meaning the orange raid gear orb and the orange elite raid gear orb, which are horrendously bad orbs.
Yeah.
You get like one piece out of it. So I don't understand how you double everything else, yet you leave the orb the same. I'm hoping this is just an oversight.
I was talking about the War Orb 2.
Right. Okay.
That one was from 3 to 6. Now on the T15 only, no mention of the T14, no mention of some of the other stuff. And you're right about those raid orbs. I mean, especially the elite. They're supposed to be elite. Still don't get anything out of those.
No, you get like nothing. You're lucky to get one unique piece out of like 5 orbs. I mean, they're horrendous. The fact that they didn't even touch those is just it mind boggles. It's mind boggling there. I don't get it. So this to me was again bare minimum. I feel like we need to have a conversation with Scopely about their flair. So Joanna, we want you to express yourself. So you want me to wear more than the 15 pieces of flair?
Pieces of flair that are required.
So Scopely, I'm going to need you to put more than the 15 pieces of flair, and I'm going to need you to go ahead and increase the orbs. Yeah, that'd be great. So for those that don't know, we just did our Office Space quotes. Yeah. Frid and I launch into Office Space quite often, but again, bare minimum that they could have done here was expecting quite a bit more, but we haven't seen some of the numbers on the objectives and all that, so we'll see.
So a couple last thoughts here. First of all, guess what happened? They did go live with some of this immediately upon reset, which was surprising to me. But guess what? The War Store had a problem out of the gate where they were doubling the amount, but they also doubled the cost. So I wonder if many people got into that. Apology for compensation, blah, blah, blah. I would take any 15 pieces that they want to send my way. Or a war orb, something like that. And then one last thing that was interesting is not a single mention of purple gear, which I don't know about you, but I mean, that is a bottleneck. That's a huge bottleneck. It took me forever to get the ones for the Axemen. And just farming node after node and buying from stores and stuff like that. So
yeah, I mean, there's so many other ones. We had some newer players or mid-game players talk about, oddly enough, T2 ability mats, the little blue ones that everybody skips past all the early raids now because of the power creep and because of ISO. And so they don't have any of those blue mats.
You can't even get the abilities to.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine? Like, you can level a character up to tier 12, but you can't do their abilities past like 3. So,
and I have like 40,000 of those purple, whatever it is, some god awful number that.
But you remember where like we couldn't get any of those, and it took forever to get past.
Right, when you're progressing naturally, yes. So the catch up part is what's missing here, or the ability to convert those purples into blue that you need. That could work too.
Yep. So
this,
I think,
this is the third strike here.
Yeah. So I don't even know what to say. I mean, we had low expectations. This is, I would say, below the bare minimum that I was expecting. And nothing about the dumpster fire that is PvP.
Oh gosh, I don't think they know what to do, or maybe these 2 tabs, events or whatever is grand plan is going to be revealed. But that one is I don't even know. Like, literally the only reason to do it is because of that battle pass that you get year 15. But nobody likes doing it. I keep going back to that little skit about explaining it to your wife. Like, are you trying to win? No, I don't want to
No.
win. I just want to do abilities. What? What's the objective here? Yeah, it's a time sink for the sake of it, and it doesn't. You don't. There's nothing. It can work, but it doesn't. And I don't know
Yeah.
what they're gonna do, but hopefully they have something up their sleeve. But there wasn't a single word about it yet.
Yeah. So I don't know if we're just overly negative and reading this kind of the wrong way, but we'd love to continue the conversation. If you guys can stop by, let us know your thoughts on the blog post. Did there anything in there give you a ray of hope, to give you excitement about Scopely turning around the narrative, Scopely caring about their player base instead of caring about the 1% of the 1%? So with that, we would say, again, you can continue the conversation on Discord, the public Ragnarok Discord. We have several channels you can come by, say hi. Also, we are on Twitter, YouTube, and of course, the old-fashioned Gmail, rngingame@gmail.com. Stay safe.
Don't
Go ahead,
forget,
yeah.
don't forget the favorite 5-star review or whatever stars you want to give us. That helps us with visibility in the various podcasting platforms, but especially on the biggest one, which is Apple Podcasts. So please, if you can, and we'll acknowledge it on the show. So.
Excellent. Justice for Beast. Everybody stay healthy, stay safe.
We'll talk next week.